These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Claire article, quote, parliamentary finance. The price of the dollar will decrease after the implementation of the budget, unquote. Another quote, the Iraqi dinar will gradually recover and decrease dramatically against the price of the dollar, he added. The exchange rate of the dollar in the parallel markets depends on the principle of supply and demand, and the start of implementation of the 23 budget will mean the release of large sums of money that will lead to a greater increase in the purchase of the dollar. Frank 26, Firefly, breaking news, parliamentary finance. Frank says, parliamentary finance? Okay, what about them? Firefly says next Sunday they will start the allocations of the funds for the budget and instructions on certain projects. Frank says 6 days they're going to give you instructions on the budget. The new exchange rate that is the instructions for all projects that's inside of the budget for the next 3 years. Everything waits for the new exchange rate. All right, Caparoni, and this is follow-up from yesterday's Caparoni community comment, 1300 IQD to 1 USD versus the Jordanian dinar, 141. Caparoni says, also wanted to remind you that Iraq has trillions of dinar in circulation versus Jordan, who has millions. Big difference. Iraq could never afford to significantly raise the value without reducing the money supply. Mark Z via PDK says, we do know Iraq is moving forward and dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's, and trying to get from under the U.S. thumb so they can change the value of the IQD. I'm hearing very positive stuff for Sunday. Doesn't mean that's when it's going to happen, but that's when they plan on opening all the coffers from the budget. That is when most of my contacts think it should go. Militiaman says the Iraqi central bank has many measures, packages as they put it, in place that have been in place to curb the illegal parallel market that everybody seems to talk about. The bottom line is if they adjust their exchange rate to be and exceed the US dollar, that pretty much is going to go away. Right, Yada has an article, quote, through our follow-up with the Ministry of Finance next Sunday, allocations to governments and ministries will be launched to implement the 23 budget and send instructions for implementing the budget. It schedules, text, and agreed items, unquote. Yada says the instructions is another name for the rates. Walking Six says that CBI meeting with the big three took place yesterday. They were given the timing of the release, value, note, count, and type of denominations. All right, Nader from the Middle says economy. That's what's going to drive the dinar up. A North State article, quote, J.P. Morgan had previously handled the process of financial transactions for Iraqi trade with China, unquote. And North State says, isn't that amazing? China and the United States, two of the biggest trade people on the entire planet, and Morgan has invested China to participate with America to go into Iraq. It doesn't get bigger than that. That's the two biggest traders in the world. Wow. All right, Mark Z, a PDK member comment, Guru Walking Stick owns a bank in Iraq, said that the big CBI meeting with the big three took place today or yesterday. They were given the timing of the releases, value, note count, and type of denomination. Mark Z's response is that would certainly explain why there's a sudden flurry in conversations over the last couple of hours. Rumor that a dam has broken in a good way. Contacts are giddy about the 15th through the 18th, so this news would make sense. I can't say if it's accurate or not, but it would explain all the chatter that has suddenly erupted within a short time. All right, Frank 26, Firefly Television is telling us our population here in Iraq has swelled to 43 million. They're talking about the mechanism to help support the dinar, how to get away from the dollar. Frank 26 says, you know what the mechanism is. To support the dinar, a program rate is not a mechanism. The program rate cannot support the dinar, and to get away from the dollar, so they have to introduce the new mechanism, the new exchange rate. Lastly, Mark Z via PDK, we heard a banking story yesterday from California Somebody went into a wealth management location where they were building separate private cubicles. The person straight up asked them if this was the way for QFS. The bank manager knew all about the QFS, said, yes, we will be doing currency things here. They are expecting a lot of new, wealthy people. There was another similar story from Charlotte, North Carolina, and from Arizona, all in the last few days. Banks are getting outfitted, and banks are being trained. To me, this tells us just how close we are.